Alright, hey folks. So I just wanted to rant about a bunch of really silly decisions that Blizzard seems to be making this season, and a lot of them are targeted nerfs at casual players. Now, before I get into this rant, I want to quickly preface this by saying that I am not a casual player, by any definition of the word. So when I go on this rant about how the decisions that Blizzard are making is just killing their game for absolutely no reason, I'm not saying this from a sense of, hey, make the game better for me. I'm saying this from a perspective of, I want the game to live. I understand that as somebody who primarily focuses on endgame rating, that I need casual players in this game to fund it, right? You need other people not doing all of the super high end, like 0.1% stuff to actually pay the subscription costs so Blizzard will keep developing the game. And so there needs to be a lot of resources put into making the casual side of this game really good, which is why I always advocate for it. It's also fun every now and then for me to go and do casual content. I do a lot of delves, even though it's not really aimed for me. I make videos on my main channel about delves, and people seem to like it. So it is something that I still put a lot of effort into doing, and yet, for some reason that I don't understand, Blizzard seems determined to just spite every single person in that section of their player base. So, elephant in the room, right? What am I talking about? The biggest change that everybody's focused on, because it is by far the most bullshit, is the fact that Delver's Bounty is now locked behind level 2 of the Delver's Journey. Now, I've done already a decent amount of Bountiful Delves across multiple characters, and I'm not even at level 1 yet. Over the rest of this week, will probably have to bust out my army of alts to get to Renown 2, so I can actually get my Delver's Bounty and get a hero piece on my main, because that would be kind of helpful, I guess. But it's, at this point, almost not even worth the effort, and especially for anybody who isn't like me and has the time to sit there and dedicate to it and has a million alts from leveling and can just do that, this is just not even something that you can achieve until later in the season. In my main channel video, I referred to this as time gating, and there was a few comments pushing back on that, but for people who don't have alts to grind this, it is quite literally time gating. You are time gated on the amount of restored coffer keys that you can earn every single week. You can only earn roughly 6 to 8, depending on how efficiently you use your Radiant Echoes, which are these things here. So you get these when you do a Bountiful Delve. You can exchange these for restored coffer key fragments by doing random things. You can also pop open Paragon boxes to get extra Radiant Echoes. This is something that I think a lot of people don't realize, but that is a thing that you can do to get a few more. Obviously, that requires you to have the rep farmed, and I have all the rep farmed. So again, it's something that disproportionately punishes casual players who don't have all of these systems maxed out. And I have to wonder why. Like, why is this a thing? And I'll get back to this because I think it's crazy, but there's a bunch of other stuff that they've done as well. It's not just the Delver's Bounty thing. I've seen some people really trying to cope and justify why this decision may have been made, which I think is crazy, but there are multiple other targeted nerfs to Delves. One of the big ones is they've just nerfed the amount of Delver's Journey progress that you get through running it, so the grind is longer. So this wasn't just a, oh, we think that this should be clearly demonstrated on the journey progress so that people know it's there and know that they can unlock it. Like, no, they added a core feature to this track, and then they went back and nerfed all of the sources for obtaining this track because they specifically want to extend the process. But they also, for some really baffling reason, have decided to extend how long it takes to get your keys. So previously, the entire rest of the expansion in seasons 1 and 2, the way that the restored coffer key system works, you don't know what I'm talking about for some reason, I'm talking about these things, you get these by doing weeklies. It was really simple. Your first 4 keys of the week gave you a restored coffer key. In fact, I'm pretty sure if I look at my world map here, yeah, you can see the Fabled Veterans Cache. The first 4 weekly caches you earn each week contain a restored coffer key. Well, this is now actually a lie. They haven't updated the text on the boxes to reflect this, but now, for some reason, the first 2 boxes will give you a full restored coffer key. Then the 4 boxes after that will give you 50 of these fragments. Now, technically speaking, that is still 4 keys, right? Because 100 fragments, 1 key. So if 4 boxes give you 50 fragments each, then those 4 boxes are in total giving you 2 keys. So you're still getting 4 keys a week. But why? Why are we nerfing the rate at which you earn your weekly keys? It's so silly. You're not actually giving players anything extra. It's the exact same rewards as previous seasons, except now you have to spend extra time to earn it. And I'm sure somebody's going to say, oh, right, 2 extra boxes, that only takes like 15 to 20 minutes of gameplay. Like, yeah, sure, okay, I get it. It's not a big deal. And for somebody like me, 15 to 20 minutes to do world content that I'm probably already going to do for rep farming, yeah, it doesn't matter that much. But that's the thing. It's not about us. It's not about the people who can afford to just throw away 20 minutes and get their world content thing. It's a targeted nerf at casual players who only have a limited amount of time to play for no reason. Just, yeah, you have to do 2 more weeklies to get the same reward that you got before. Why? Why are we doing this? What does this add to the game? And as if it wasn't bad enough, right? So if you are not aware, they added a new thing in Delves this season. There's an achievement under here somewhere, Flicker Gates. So, Flicker Gates, I talk about this in my main Delve video, but these are these little purple portals in random delves, and you can run over to them, click them, and then like a random thing happens. So either you just get free loot, which it's not a lot, it's like 20 undercoins and sometimes a bit of experience for Bran. Cool. Sometimes a shadow clone of Kaiveza pops out, you fight her, you get loot. Cool. Sometimes it teleports you to the end and you get like the special bonus room. Awesome. I was really excited about these things. I was actually like, wow, this is one of the coolest things they've added to Delves since the start of the expansion. I really like this, and I even mentioned in my video, it created an entirely new dynamic for Delves, where instead of just running the entirety of a Delve, you can focus on specific variants that are really good for specifically farming Flicker Gates. There was one aiming to get even, or Chiron's Assault, either variant, in Nightfall Sanctum, where you could basically jump to a random location in the Delve and beeline straight for the Flicker Gate, grab it, and then once you've gotten the rewards from it, leave the Delve and rinse repeat. And the crazy thing is, this isn't necessarily an extremely broken farming method. For Bran experience, it kind of was, just because Bran experience is just so heavily time-gated normally, and this was an infinitely farmable source of Bran XP, but also, who gives a shit? Who cares if this useless fucker is level 100? He does nothing anyways. He's there. He really doesn't contribute much. Hatterang is still broken regardless of his level, so why does it matter if people can slightly effectively farm Bran XP? So, obviously, if you haven't already gathered, they completely gutted this system, so instead of being able to target farm the Flicker Gates, now you have to interact with it and then get the reward, and then you don't actually get the stuff, the reward, the real thing from it until the very end of the Delve. So it's just now, instead of being a cool little bonus thing to Delves, it's just like a slight generic chest that you have to unlock at the end. And considering how poor the rewards are, if you're just aiming to full clear Delves anyways, unless it's directly in your path, it's probably not even worth going out of your way for. So they played themselves, right? Once again, Blizzard has added a new cool piece of content to the game, and then once players found a fun way to interact with it, they've just completely nuked it from orbit. Why even bother adding things to your game if you're just going to remove it afterwards? It's just baffling. And, I mean, don't even get me started on the whole fact that this worked for an entire week during the pre-patch, or this week 0 of this new patch. Everybody was able to farm these Flicker Gates, and then at the end of week 0, they completely nerfed it, so now it's extremely difficult to farm them from now on. So anybody who did do it during week 0 has a max level Bran and massive amount of undercoins, and anyone who didn't do it can get fucked. So like, I didn't farm it. I did some Delves during week 0, but I didn't specifically target farm it, so I'm only at 20 out of 100. There's people who farmed hundreds of these things. It's going to take me forever to get this achievement. I don't care, because I'm probably going to do a bunch of Delves anyway, but for people who really wanted to get the rewards from that, like, fuck you, apparently. Fuck you. Blizzard doesn't care about you. Man, it's just frustrating. It's really frustrating, because again, this is not something that really affects me, but I speak to a lot of people who do play this game casually, and don't try to min-max everything, and do really enjoy Delves as a way to try to do endgame content and get themselves geared, and that's specifically why this change is just so insulting. Because the other stuff is kind of typical Blizzard, playtime retention bullshit that they've been doing ever since BFA and Shadowlands, which Every single expansion, people fall for this shit. They always say, we're listening, we understand. Oh, you guys hate all of the different things we've done. Well, we're gonna do better, and we're gonna make sure that we respect your time. And they do not give a shit. They don't care about any of you. Every single time they feel like they can get away with doing shit like this, they do it. And they keep pushing the envelope more and more and more and more until they receive massive amounts of backlash. And then it's just like, oh, I don't know, we forgot again. Oh, sorry, yeah, but we're listening now. Trust us. And then they do a bunch of performative bullshit to make people think that they actually have made meaningful changes, when obviously they only care about playtime metrics. Wake up. It's frustrating having these conversations with people who continually defend this company. But yeah, again, Delver's Bounty. Sorry this video is going to be a little bit ranty. I'm just kind of pissed off. This thing, the only advantage is that it lets Delve players get a single piece of hero track gear every single week. And hello? Mythic Plus exists. I can farm Mythic Plus. I can do Heroic Raid. I can get hero track pieces. Who is this benefiting? Making this change. If you want to farm M+, you can farm M+. Nothing's stopping you. If you want to do Raid, you can do that. It's not like getting hero track gear is such a massive advantage that we need to limit the ability to get a single piece every week. Is that really such a big deal? And the problem is, again, despite the fact that I'm already able to farm hero track gear from Mythic Plus and Raid, I am actually in the best position to get a Delver's Bounty on this week. I will later on over the weekends, when my guild's not dragging me into Mythic Plus every hour, I will eventually grind this out, and I will get my weekly hero track piece on week 1 of the season. But the casual players, the ones who don't have the time or are still learning and can't easily get into high-level keys week 1, those people, they're the ones who need this hero gear the most. And Blizzard's telling them to get fucked. The biggest thing to me, I think, about this is somebody at Blizzard made the decision not just to put this on the Delver's Journey, but they made the decision to put it at rank 2. I don't see enough people talking about this, but the fact that it's not rank 1 is just a gigantic slap in the face. It would still be insulting, don't get me wrong, if it was on the Delver's Journey at all, which primarily cosmetic rewards, mind you. It has always been either cosmetic rewards, or the only thing is like catch-up gear, or you can buy keys, which you can also view as alt catch-up. This is baseline functionality that is now put onto previously a cosmetic unlock track. And if you wanted to put it on the first one of okay, get through your intro delves, get your feet wet, get into the system, and then you can unlock the big endgame reward, you could maybe make some devil's advocate argument in favor of this. But as it stands, this is targeted to basically extend playtime and force casual players to grind more at the start of the season. Is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and rant any longer. I already probably ranted a little bit longer than I wanted to, but I've just been extremely frustrated looking at all of these targeted changes this season, and I've seen a lot of public complaining about this, rightfully so. So I just kind of wanted to join the discussion and basically say that, yeah, I also think this is bullshit. And obviously, if you agree that this is bullshit, make some noise about it. At them on Twitter, make more Reddit posts, and make sure that this shit doesn't happen again. It will, don't get me wrong, it will. But we're probably, at the very least, what we can hope for is to get another generic we're listening blue post, and they make a knee-jerk change because they see so much backlash, and, we win for now, and it's the same cycle that we have to do every single patch, but, it's what you gotta do when dealing with garbage companies like Blizzard. You just need to keep repeatedly telling them to fuck off until they make the correct decision, and maybe eventually they will finally learn. But until then, I've ranted for 14 minutes. I hope you enjoyed listening to me be pissed off about this stupid system, and yeah, hopefully Blizzard fixes it, because this sucks. I'll see you later. Peace.